What are you going to do with those pies, boys?
Hello, cadets. Welcome to another episode of the Big Monster Briefing Room. Let's bring up my able-bodied assistant, Major Millie Hazzard.
Hello, General. It's good to be here. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good to be here. We are going to talk about an H.G. Wells story that was turned into a training film called The Food of the Gods back in 1976.
Yes, and do you have your tea? Thank you. I have a polar bear.
Why do you have a polar bear?
Well, this is both from Diane Coll.
I have a decapitated gnome.
And I have a decapitated polar bear. And Diane Coll, who is the person behind the entire theme song of this beautiful show, she gifted these to us. So we always want to say thank you to Diane Coll.
Okay, well, very good, very good.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe some of you don't know, I've had a few assistants in my time. I had Corporal Chaos for a little while, and then I had my sergeant in arms, Sergeant Major Havoc, who is on the show because he's a giant animal expert. He's a G.A.E. giant.
Say that 5 times fast, General.
I know I can do this.
Calm down. I know you're excited. We're all excited to have him
expert.
Yes.
So I got to warn you, Major Hazzard, that he's a little shell shock from his time, fighting big monsters with me.
I understand.
I think he snorted a little Agent Orange back in the day. Maybe inhaled a little Mothra dust. But he's a good man. And we've invited him here for this particular movie, The Food of the Gods, which has, okay, are you ready to count now? Giant wasps, giant worms, giant chickens, and giant rats.
We got them all covered for the sergeant. We got them all covered.
If you're out on the farm, and that's where this happens, out on a farm, you're in big trouble because they're all around you. All that stuff's around you trying to kill you.
That's right.
So let's go ahead and bring him up. Sergeant Havoc.
Sir, yes, sir. Sergeant Havoc here reporting for duty. Sergeant Major Havoc. Now, I know that might be a little confusing, but because Sergeant Major is not my rank. Sergeant is my rank. Major happens to be my first name. So there you go.
See, now I forgot to tell the audience that. I apologize.
It's not a problem, Major.
So, yes, his first name is Major.
Sorry.
That's all right. That's all right.
Yeah.
So
it's good to have you here. It's very good to have you here.
Yeah, he has been fighting giant animal attacks.
That's right.
If there's a giant spider or a giant lizard of some kind, he was there.
I'm there. Yep.
He was there. So luckily we haven't had those kind of attacks recently. Giant balloons, anyway.
Well, what can you do?
What can you do? Shoot them down.
You got to shoot them down. Yep. But of course, they don't cause as much havoc as I think I made a pun there.
You did.
Not as much havoc as giant, like Mothra and Godzilla and all them creatures,
Yeah. Well, as a matter of fact, we're going to talk about Godzilla next week. We're doing the original King Kong versus Godzilla next week.
Yeah.
So that should be interesting. But tonight we're doing The Food of the Gods. Let's go ahead and get to our timeline.
Please don't mention King Kong again. I had to clean up that poop. So
that's not good. I
forgot about that. I'm sorry.
My squad had to clean all that stuff up. So yep.
That's not a good memory. It's very stinky stuff.
That's right. He's a giant ape. What I forgot.
Giant ape. That's right.
Pretty gross.
Yep.
We're here to serve you people. You see what we go through? We have to go through Sasquatch poop and King Kong poop. We do all of that because we love people.
Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it.
Someone's got to do it. Yes.
So anyway,
so this training film was released through American International and MGM. Someone's got to do it. So, hey, I got to delegate authority to somebody.
That's right.
So it's, of course, H.G. Wells' The Food of the Gods. And we start out with a football game. Ironically, this was filmed in Quebec, Canada, long before films started filming in Quebec, Canada, which is very common now. Yep. And they're wearing San Francisco jerseys. Our hero is a quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. Nice. I think. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And the actor's name is Marjo Gortner.
Marjo. Can you say that again?
Marjo Gortner.
Marjo Gortner.
It sounds like a peach tea noise that you're making.
Marjo Gortner.
Is that a girl's name?
I thought the same thing, but I'm not going to make fun of him. He's very manly in this film. He's very alpha male in this film.
Yep.
As a matter of fact, when the leading actress Pamela Franklin meets him, she's immediately taken by him and his masculinity. I'll show you that in the timeline. So anyway, he's going to an island.
Would you say, Sergeant?
Is that somebody else?
I think it's someone else. I think that might be somebody else.
Okay. Nope, never mind.
To save every one of us.
Yep. Did I miss something?
I love Flash Gordon. I have such a massive crush on the Flash, but that's for a different day. Sorry.
That's a whole other Flash.
Are you talking about the Flash, the superhero from the DC Comics, or the Flash Gordon?
Both.
A little bit of both. A little bit of column A.
Because you were singing the Queen song a second ago.
Yeah, we're talking about Flash Gordon, but it's my mistake. Never mind.
It's the same. It's all right.
Okay, let's just shake it off. So they go to the ranch on an island, an isolated island, with their friend Davis in the red coat. They're hunters. They like to hunt, deer and stuff like that. And he goes off into the woods to follow a deer in the woods, and he's attacked by what looks like animated mosquitoes, but they're actually wasps, giant wasps.
Mm.
And one of them stings him in the back of the neck. And he puffs up like a Stay Puft pastry.
Eesh.
Not a pleasant occurrence.
Yeah,
see that? He looks like a Stay Puft marshmallow.
Yep. But they ain't as big as the mosquitoes here in Texas. I got to say that.
Everything's big in Texas.
Everything's the biggest.
Everything's big in Texas. So this is that's why you moved to Texas, because all animals are big in Texas.
Exactly.
Now I've just
reminds me of the monster. It reminds me of the monster. So
That's right. Now someone should get this guy some Benadryl or prednisone or something. Just looking at him.
He's too far gone for that.
Oh.
He's got enough wasp poison in him to kill about 200 men. That's an actual line from this film. So his friend Marjo Gortner, Morgan is his name. Morgan's a manly name. He goes off to the closest farm to try to see if he can get help, because their friend is all puffed up like that, and he's
Yeah.
And this is Ida Lupino playing Mrs. Skinner. And you see these pictures, Ida Lupino back in the day. Now,
yep.
She was a movie hottie.
She's a dish, is what they call it. A dish.
She's a dish. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So it's kind of, at this point in her career, she's older. And again, it's like Joan Collins and Benny Davis. They made them do these training films, after whatever happened to Baby Jane, Food of the Gods. So he goes looking around, and she won't come out. She's afraid of him. She doesn't want to, she's got a secret. And he goes out to the barn, and what does he find, Havoc? Giant chickens, big cocks.
I don't know that we can be saying that, the FCC gets on us,
They're chickens.
It's chickens.
Okay, you meant roosters.
Yep.
Roosters. Sorry, where was my brain? I was still thinking of Flash Gordon. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
I think she was working secretly with Kentucky Fried Chicken there.
What was that guy's name? Sam?
Sam?
That's like the only movie he ever did. Sam.
Sam Jones.
Sam Jones. There we go.
Yep.
He's in the Ted movies. They love him in the Ted movies.
Yeah.
The little teddy bear that runs around and talks and smokes weed. So she finally comes out. We're gonna have to do that one on here someday, even though there's got to be monsters in that movie. Anyway,
well, it's got Mark Wahlberg in it, so I guess kind of a monster.
They actually show this stuff that she's calling the food of the gods. It's coming out of a little spigot out of the mountain and behind her house. They actually show a wasp on top of the jar of the stuff that's been left out open on the kitchen. She shows them giant mouse holes that are, the size you can put your fist through them in your forearm.
Not that anyone's recommending that. She's
saying they're trying to market this stuff because that's what made the giant chickens. And the guy's like, "Are you crazy? Do you realize what kind of stuff can get into this? And I've got giant crazy animals all over the place."
Nobody wants that.
Especially not you.
Especially not me. Nope, no sir. I had enough of that.
You've done a lot of that.
A lot. More than I care to remember.
So he and his partner, Brian, who's frowning through this whole thing, he doesn't want to be coming back and forth to this island all the time. And the second time they came back out, he should have stayed. He wanted to stay. And Morgan talked him into it. Anyway, they take the ferry back to town with the body of their friend Davis. And Mr. Skinner, the Ida Lupino's husband, he's asking the ferry boat guy, "Hey, did anybody ask about something weird like giant animals?" So he's the guy, that found this stuff.
Yeah.
Up come a bubbling crude, food's God, that is. Texas tea. So there he has a nice shot of him looking at the looking at the island ominously. He knows there's giant rats and stuff out there.
Which is why he's on this side of the lake there.
Yeah, hey, you should have taken your wife with you, bud.
Probably the smartest. Well, maybe you want to get rid of her. I don't know.
Who knows?
Go ahead, honey. You make the giant chickens. It'll be fine. I'll be holding here.
I'm gonna go to the mainland for a little while. Yeah. You just stay here with the giant chickens and rats for a while, okay?
Go get some bread.
There's a lot of backstory there. I feel like there's a whole backstory.
Back in the day, she was a real hottie. They've been married a long time. Anyway, terrible. She gets giant worms on her now. They got into her apricots.
Oh.
Tipped over her apricots, and now they're on her arm, and they're like, "Hey, this tastes good." So let me remind you, this is Ida Lupino, famous actress from Hollywood, and she's got giant worms on her arm.
Yeah, a lot of cane would have helped that.
Oh, look at her. She's a ginger there.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't know.
How did I end up here?
Yep. It's like, oh my God, where's my career gone? I was
emote. We've got giant worms on
here. I am holding
You're holding a giant worm in your hand.
Which, if you're doing a porn movie, I guess that's fine, but
she might have had to do that back in the day. I don't know.
Let's not. Yeah.
So there was a lot of Harvey Weinsteins back in the day.
That's true. That's true.
So we got to point this stuff out when it happens. So her husband comes back that night in his VW Bug. That's a good vehicle to be stuck in when you're surrounded by giant rats. He gets a flat tire, and sure enough, the rats start coming. And he gets back in the car, and sure enough, they come right through the windshield. They come right through the roof. They just open that thing up like a tin can and just go to town. Food. So there's Mr. Skinner. He's gone. He played by John McLean.
Yeah. Poor Mr. Skinner.
Where else is there a Mr. Skinner?
Well, little known fact there that this, their grandson would go on to become assistant director of the FBI. And, he had a couple of agents.
Was it Skinner on the X-Files? Was that it?
Yep.
Okay, that's where I remember it from, Mr. Skinner. I knew there was something out there that I knew. Yep. There was a Skinner. Yep. So back at the football field, Brian comes back with a toxicology report. Yeah, he had enough poison, wasp poison in him to kill 200 guys. So they decide to go back out to the island. Oh yeah, there's wasp out there that'll kill you with a single sting. Yeah, let's go back out there.
Yep.
So the next morning, a little piece of Mr. Skinner all over the road.
Yeah.
His car door is sitting there with blood all over it, and people are passing by in their car. Hey, nothing to see here.
Is that some guts? Yeah, it's probably somebody hit a deer or something.
Those can be very messy. Those are some big monsters, those bucks. You get a big buck, they freeze when you get in front of them, and then there's guts everywhere. You could really hurt yourself.
That's right.
Right. When you hit a buck with a VW bug, it's messy.
It's not a good thing.
So here we have a Winnebago also that's stuck on the side of the road, and this guy in this car passes right by a pregnant lady trying to wave him down. Excuse me, a little peach tea there.
That was a little bit of a peach tea noise. That was a little leprechaun. I mean, a gnome noise.
A little leprechaun-y?
A gnome noise. A peach gnome. We need to have the sergeant bring his hot beverage. I got my raspberry tea. The general has his.
I meant to, but I kind of forgot it somewhere. I don't know. It's around here somewhere.
Mine's not hot. It's cold. I like cold tea.
Oh,
but yeah, next time I'll have me a tasty beverage.
What kind of tasty beverage does the sergeant like?
I like ginger ale.
Oh, yep. That's a hearty.
That settles the stomach.
Yeah, little nice cool beverage there. Yep.
Anytime I do a cruise, that's what I'm drinking to settle my stomach.
Yep.
I'm not good on the water. Okay, so these two show up. They're passing everybody on the road. It's Lorna, Pamela Franklin. She's supposed to inspect this food of the gods stuff and see what it's made of. And Mr. Bensington, played by Ralph Meeker.
I'm so sorry, but the sergeant has these zingers, and I almost spit my water everywhere. I'm sorry. It's just.
You almost got him to spit up through her nose, Sergeant. Good job.
If I start
don't mean to upset you there, Major. I mean, I know you're higher ranked than me. I'm not trying to make you spit up your tasty beverage there.
I apologize. I get a little giddy sometimes.
If you make her do this, that's good too. She's trying to hide the laugh.
Oh. Look away! I'm hideous. Look away.
Thought she was trying to pretend to be a weeping angel.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, if you can get her to do this, that's great. that makes my day.
Doctor Who references.
Right, well, goals.
So
goals,
have goals.
Hashtag goals.
So they show up at the Skinner farm. He's hoping to get this stuff that's coming up out of the ground. There's another movie called The Stuff where the same thing happens. Just a spring of this weird stuff comes out of the ground. And people start, scooping it up and putting it into containers and eating it.
Yep.
And that doesn't have a good outcome either. I may invite you for that show. We're going to be doing that one soon, too.
And that's why I'll never eat yogurt again.
And that's why I'll never eat yogurt again. That's going on.
It might turn you into some kind of creature.
Nope. Not going to be taken over by some stuff.
No, don't fall for it.
So,
I ain't falling for it. I know it's a conspiracy. Government trying to take control of my brain with some stuff.
No, it's coming out of the ground, out of the earth. The earth is trying to get back at us for how we treated it. Anyway.
Oh, that's true too.
So the first thing you see is that the barn is broken open. It was broken open by rats the night before, the same ones that killed Mr. Skinner. And they see these chickens. Now, there's a lot more of the left on the ground of these chickens than there should be with all those rats. There should be feathers, giant feathers and blood, but there's like chicken there, like whole chickens.
Yeah, that's just a waste. They're just wasting food. Food of the gods.
They barge right into Mrs. Skinner's house, and immediately they find the worms in the sink that she killed the night before.
Yep.
And that's when Ida Lupina comes at her with a meat cleaver. Yes, I actually said the sentence. That's when Ida LaPena comes out of the meat cleaver.
I thought you were insulting me, for a minute there. I got a little bit of Yonkers, I got up in arms over Yonkers, but I think you were just saying it's okay. I'm gonna calm down. I thought you were calling me a nasty word. In Yonkers we go like that at each other, and sometimes it sounds a little bit like that.
When I say Ida LaPena?
Ida LaPena.
There you go again. I just gotta.
A jalapeno?
Oh, you dirty old Ida LaPena, you. Yep.
But she was a hottie back in the day. Did I mention that?
She's a dish.
Did I mention that? Look at her as a blonde. Oh my God. She had beautiful blue eyes.
This, we got to
beautiful blue eyes.
Everybody, we got to do. This is what you do in the old days. If you're beautiful, I don't know if you guys could do that, but when you go like that, it's like, yeah, that's how you know you're beautiful. You see,
you're beautiful. It's true.
You got to do that. It's like the beauty salutes,
Sorry, General. Don't.
Oh, I see what you mean. With pushing the hair up on the side like that.
That's right. You got to push the hair up.
That's a glamour move.
That's a glamour move. Yep. It's a very glamorous move. Yes.
Okay, so there's the stuff coming up out of the ground. Again, luckily we didn't eat it.
Thank God for that. Diarrhea for days.
Now, I feel so sorry for this pregnant woman, who is, by the way, played by Belinda Balaski, who was in The Howling. She was the friend of the news reporter that got killed by the werewolf.
Right, yeah.
So she looks very different in this because she's got kind of blonder hair in this. And she's younger. But I feel so sorry for her because these guys go, hey, how you doing? Okay, we're going to pass you by, but we'll come back and get you later. It's like everybody that passes by leaves this poor pregnant lady out in the open.
Yeah, sometimes you just gotta know you just don't know what's brewing in there, Especially.
So you think this kid's got some of the stuff in him, huh?
It's possible. It's possible. They've been in some of
that. And her
yeah.
husband is actually he's not her husband. It's just her boyfriend. They're shacking up in the Winnebago.
Oh, see, there you go. They're living in sin. That's the problem right there. Got a couple living in sin.
Yeah, they have a little scene where they're talking about he wants to get married, and she's like, "Oh, why do we got to do that? It doesn't matter, the paper and all that." Mm-hmm. And they never resolved that. At the end of the film, it's just like, well, we're back to square one. So anyway, they show up at the farm, and Mr. Bensington is being attacked by the giant wasps, the animated giant wasps. So these guys, they know how to pack. They come packed, ready to shoot with shotguns. So Brian takes out a couple of those wasps right away, as does Morgan, and the rest of the wasps fly off. So they know they got to find the nest. They know this is what killed their friend. So Meeker explains that he's trying to buy this food of the gods from Miss Skinner and her husband. They don't know her husband is dead yet. They don't know that they passed him on the road earlier. That was his VW Bug. By the way, did your husband drive a red VW Bug? I got bad news for you. Look at that face. She is so totally taken with this masculine man. Look at her. She's like, oh, I want you. I mean, look at that face. Well,
she's what the kids call thirsty.
How do you be so manly? He's like, well, I don't really think about it. And she's like, oh, God.
She's a little thirsty.
Vapors.
There's something stirring in me there.
She's got something stirring. There's no doubt.
Stirrings going on.
Little stirrings. Little stirrings.
That's right.
So they find her. They find the wasp nest, and they're like little kids. They're like, "Hey, let's burn it up. Let's blow it up."
Well, that's what you do.
They put like a Molotov cocktail up in there. And luckily, the thing, the bees don't, or the wasps don't come out and sting the hell out of them. They run and jump behind a log, and of course the thing blows up and kills all the wasps. So that problem is out of the way.
Okay. Because if there's one thing we men like is explosions.
There's good explosions in this film. Things blow up real good in this film.
Yep. Of course, they didn't have the shot of them walking away from the explosion there. Yeah, now.
We're going to have to get you some proper lighting, Havoc. I know you don't like the light so much. You like to stay in the dark, but we have another cadet named Jonathan Phipps that likes to stay in the dark.
Yep.
Now, Mrs. Skinner shows up and she goes, Billy fell in the well. And they're like, what? And she's like, oh, no, you're the lady friend, Lorna, she fell down in a rat hole. Rat hole? What? So Morgan goes down to save her. And unfortunately, the support that they're going to use to bring her up breaks, and they have to find a tunnel out. They have to find their way out. And of course, the rats are moving around in there, and they're shooting them, and they're trying to dodge them and weave and get out away from them. And eventually, they do get out. I think that's it. I can't see it on my phone. It's too small. Okay, so we go back to the Winnebago, and the rats are scurrying around on the roof of the Winnebago now, and they hear it, and they go out, and the rats are on top of the Winnebago. There's a white rat. This is kind of like Willard with a white rat Ben.
Yeah. Like,
he is leading the other rats.
Right. Yeah.
So he is like an intelligent rat. This food of the gods has made him intelligent, and he's running the pack.
Yeah.
There he is.
He's on a tree close by.
So they run for it. And, amazingly, all this time, people are passing them on the road and leaving them stuck in their Winnebago trailer. They didn't realize the farm was, close enough to just run to it real quick. And she's pregnant, and they're running her on a dirty, muddy road to the farm. But they get there. They get there before the rats chase them down and kill them. So they get there. So Morgan and Brian can protect them. Brian is played by John Cypher, by the way, who, I want to say he was on Buck Rogers in the 25th Century, maybe.
He was in a bunch of movies and TV shows.
He's in a lot of stuff. Yeah.
He was one of them, hey, I know that guy.
He might have been in Dolph Lundgren's He-Man as well.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Anyway, as the mustache one, whoever that was. Anyway, so they go back on they go and they check the Winnebago, and sure enough, there's rats all over the Winnebago. They come back to the farm. They close the gate. This is very important because now the gate is all around the property, and they're going to electrify the fence so that the rats can't get past the electrification, the electrified fence, which is it's a good idea, but rats when they will die on stuff like that and just crawl over each other.
like zombies.
Yeah. This was the problem with the movie. The very first movie we did on the show was The Day of the Triffids. There were so many Triffids that they just kind of fell on the fence. And anyway, so they check, and sure enough, the fence goes down into the water. And Morgan says, hey, these rats are much bigger than regular rats. They wouldn't float like regular rats. They'd probably sink to the bottom. So we're covered. And the other fence also goes into the water. So he goes, we're covered. These rats will drown. They'll drown like rats. That's where this comes from. Yep. They'll drown like rats from this movie, this training film. By the way, Mr. Bensington is loading up this stuff, this food of the gods, in whatever container he can find. And he's putting it in the trunk of his car. He's going to get super rich, he thinks. And his assistant, Lorna, comes out, and she is disgusted. And she's like, oh, yeah, I bet you're going to cure world hunger, right? Is that what it is? Sure. And we're going to synthesize this stuff, and we're going to make plants that are giant, too. And he's full of crap. He just wants the money. He wants to be super, super rich.
Mm-hmm.
So he is all about scooping this garbage up, this crap up, and putting it in the trunk of his car. And Ida Lupino has changed. I didn't say something bad. I just said her name. She's changed her headscarf, her headgear. That's the only reason I think they did that shot. Anyway, they find a generator, and they hook it up to the fence with jumper cables, and they electrify the fence. The effects are stunning. Yes.
Yep.
And it zaps real good, and they do it just in time because the minute they hook this thing up, the rats are coming out of the woods.
Oh yeah, rats love electricity.
Is that true? Is that so? I did not know that.
Why not?
But you're the expert.
you know, I mean, we got giant rats here, so anything's possible.
Giant rats like electricity.
That's right.
Godzilla doesn't like it.
No. But then Godzilla's not a giant rat, so there you go.
He's a giant lizard. So yeah, they're zapping, and these guys are like, cool, it's working. And they go and they check something else here. I can't remember what it was. It'll show us the next slide or two.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back to this, and the rats have downed a tree on top of the generator. I mean, they're that smart. That damn white rat, he's too smart.
That's right. You figured out the answer is 42.
Industrious, I would say little suckers, but they're big suckers now.
That's right. Yep. Them big sucker rats crawling over trees. Things.
There they go. Yeah, the miniatures that they do for these rats to run around are pretty ridiculous. Anyway,
like somebody's you know,
like a train set.
Yep, exactly. Like somebody.
Now we did a movie called Night of the Lepus, which was giant bunnies.
Giant bunnies, yeah.
Yes, the giant killer bunnies. They were killed on an electrified railroad track. All of them. Okay, yeah, this is where they're checking the other side of the fence, and the rats are drowning, just like Morgan thought. And Brian's like, "You're right. They're dying. They're sinking like lead weights." And they go back, and damn if they didn't down the generator with a tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this is where they get attacked, and we lose Brian. And it's a massive attack. And they attack Morgan first. He gets attacked by one rat. And while he's being attacked by one rat, poor Brian is being attacked by a pack of rats.
Well, yeah. I mean, you don't want to attack a big old star like Marjo Gortner.
Dun 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 dun. Boom 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 boom. Let's show Brian. Da 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 da. Boom 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 boom. Show Brian. That's the next slide. Because there's like this is like a 6-slide progression here. Dun 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 dun. Oh no, he's getting killed. Look at him. He's already covered in blood. Dun 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 dun.
Nobody's shirt's getting ripped off. What the hell? Sorry, what the heck?
Dun, 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 dun. So finally, Morgan grabs his rifle and starts shooting the rats, but it's too late for his friend. His friend is gone. Mr. Meeker is still loading up that stuff.
Mr.
Bensington. Bensington is loading up the stuff. The food of the gods. It's even got FOTG on each jar. Food of the gods.
Yeah.
And he says, "You better get in my car. That's the safest way out of here. We get in my car, we're safe from these rats." And they're like, yeah, you're a dick. It's basically what it boils down to. He's an asshole. They don't want to get in the car with him because he's an asshole. He's a jerkwad. And then Morgan shows up, and his best friend was just killed by a bunch of rats, so he is pissed. So he grabs that stuff from Bensington, and he starts throwing it on the ground and dumping it out, and Bensington's like, that's his money. That's his bread and butter right there.
Why is Morgan looking kind of clean there? Shouldn't he be all bloody? I mean, he just got attacked by a giant rat.
You've got a point there. You've got a big point there. He looks very kept, not unkept.
Gotta love that, discontinuity there.
This was not a high budget training film. There's only 10 actors in the entire movie, not including the football team, which you never see them. You never see their face. They're extras.
Yeah.
So I mean, seriously, there's only 10 people, and it takes place on an island, and they did it in Vancouver, which is cheap to film. So I mean, this film was probably filmed for thousands. And Marjo Gortner was not a big name at the time.
Cast of dozens. Barely.
So yeah, there he is, smashing all the jars and breaking everything up, and he's trying to scoop the stuff up, and the rats are coming. So they all get in the house, and he stays outside and try to get the stuff off the ground, and the rats get him. A fitting end.
Yep.
Ah! And of course, these are all
irony.
These are all shot real fast with shake him around like he's killing you. And there's a nice. This is the miniature of the farmhouse being surrounded by rats.
Yeah.
Isn't it cute? Isn't that adorable?
Yeah, you know.
And they're boarding up the windows. They're trying to protect themselves. They know they're not going to last forever in this place. Morgan's already got a plan. He's already formulated a plan. There's a dam not far from there. He's going to blow it up with shotgun shell gunpowder bombs. He empties out a bunch of shotgun shells. The other guy, the pregnant lady's Bo, Rita and Tom. That's it. Tom Stovall is Thomas, and Belinda Blasky is Rita. Tom is like, hey, don't we gonna need that ammunition? He's like, hey, I gotta make these bombs. And they're making Molotov cocktails. They're making all kinds of weapons to fight the rats, to get out, get back in, get back out again.
They should have hired some Ukrainians. Ukrainians are very crafty and resourceful when it comes to ammunition, you know?
Is that so?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the best in the world. They can make a Molotov. You know, a 3-year-old can make a Molotov. I'm just going to be honest.
Can they take down a spy balloon?
Yeah, they certainly can. They wouldn't have let that there as long as it was. I'm telling you.
Okay, so there he is making the gunpowder for the bombs. The rats are, gathering outside, surrounding the place. What's that question there? Facebook user.
Giant rats. What do we do? Blow up the fucking dam.
You know what's surprising? I forgot to mention this. When they blew up the wasp nest, they didn't start a big giant forest fire. I thought that was kind of peculiar,
Yeah.
Because they blew up a whole tree. And yet it went right out afterwards. Must have been wet. Wet out.
Forest was kind of damp and wet, so
which we'll come back to at the end of the film when they're trying to burn muddy, wet rats, which go up like trailer parks.
The worst type of rats in the world, muddy, wet rats.
Muddy, wet rats, and they just go right up with just one can of gasoline poured on them. They go right up.
Muddy, wet rats.
Sounds like a punk band.
One of my favorite bands from the 70s. Yep.
Muddy, wet rats. That's gonna be a punk band.
Yep.
Now they're going to see this show, and we'll see it. We'll have to sue
lots of garage bands.
So they blow up the rats, make a path for themselves to get out to the Jeep. They take the Jeep out away from the place. Now you're thinking to yourself, hey, why didn't they just get the girls in the Jeep, and all get out of there? But they're thinking about the whole island. Okay, these guys are heroes, right? I'm being nice here. I'm giving them their due. So, they could have hauled Boogie to the ferry boat and gotten the hell out of there and saved themselves and saved everybody. But they're going to blow up the dam. So meanwhile, back at the house, the baby's coming. And Ida LaPena gets attacked by a rat that comes through the kitchen window. This is her career right here on the floor, being killed by a rat. Isn't she adorable? And
gorgeous, just gorgeous.
Let's go back one last time to watch her die. There we go.
I say,
Ida LaPena.
Yeah, it's the end of my career.
Just when you thought being a guest on Batman 1966 could be the worst, no, you get Food of the Gods after.
Yeah. Get eaten by a giant fake rat head. Yep.
Her husband Howard Duff was on that episode too of Batman, by the way. The amazing Dr. Cassandra.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, she dies. Miss Skinner goes with her husband. There she goes up to heaven to be with her husband.
Where she looks like this now.
Yeah, there you go.
Not covered in fake blood.
So the baby's coming. The baby's coming. It's going to be born with giant rats outside watching the whole thing. Seriously, she's got her legs up. The baby's coming. The rats are all talking to each other. There's a shot right here somewhere that shows the rats outside the windows looking in.
Because, rats are notorious voyeurs.
There's C.J. Peters.
Love C.J. Peters.
There they are.
Amazing.
Hey, check it out. Check out the
birth.
Check out the human.
They're having a baby human. Okay, here we are at the dam.
We have one baby? We have 20 at one time. What the hell?
And she does not have twins or triplets, although she's pretty big. So yeah, he gets two pipe bombs full of shotgun shell gunpowder. Take this whole dam out. Now, I don't know if you've ever made a shotgun shell gunpowder bomb, but yeah, they're like firecrackers. You know, they make a lot of smoke and they do blow up, but not like this. Not like C4.
Just trying to MacGyver the whole thing here.
Hey, we got to use what we got, you know.
Right.
Audience, suspend your disbelief.
MacGyver would have taken care of the whole problem with a rubber band and a stick of gum.
There you go. There's probably a rubber band and a stick of gum on those pipe bombs somewhere.
Stick of gum. Stick of gum. I love that.
Stick of gum.
Stick of
Jeep
gum.
is cool. Boom! Look at all that. Look at all that explosion. For the dam. Now, here's the thing. You guys know how fast water travels, right?
Oh hell
Right?
yeah. Yep.
Even animated water, which is coming out here in a second. These guys beat the water back to the ranch. They've got time to shoot rats before they get in the house and get drowned. They're getting out of the Jeep. They're closing the gate. Oh, the baby's coming. I know that face. The baby's coming.
That was disturbing. That was a little disturbing. It was too accurate, General.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yep. That's pretty fine baby screaming noise there. Fine.
Some fine noise.
That's what it was, a baby screaming noise.
Fine. It's just fine.
So the water hasn't come yet. They're shooting rats out of the way. Look at all this time they have. The water just takes its time, rolling along.
It's touring the island.
That's what it is. The water's touring the island before it gets to the Skinner place.
That's right.
And here it comes. Here comes the water at last. It's foaming. It's traveling so fast. Like peach tea down my gullet. It's going so fast. And of course, yes, the rats,
Yep.
They all drown. They sink to the bottom, except the ones that get on the roof already. So they all have like a little a place where they can stand up on the second floor. Now, these rats didn't get up there somehow and did get into that window, but let's not go there. And they're all watching the rats drown from up top. And
they're too busy watching the baby being born.
They were busy watching the baby being born. That's what it was. That was too entertaining. They actually show the birth. It's only about a split second, but they actually do show the baby coming out, which I thought was, I don't know. I just thought that was kind of a weird idea to go ahead and show that. But anyway, they usually don't do that in the movies. They just show them lifting the baby up over the mother, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They don't show the actual, you know, like the umbilical cord or anything. But they did here. There's a drowning rat doing a little water ballet.
Mm. Da, 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 dum, dee, 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 dee.
Good to have you back. I haven't seen you in forever. So, and a couple of rats get on the roof. They got to blow them away with their shotguns, which they have ready and available. But then he runs out of shells. He used all of his shotgun shell gunpowder. The white rat comes. He's got no shotgun shells. So what does he do? He beats the hell out of it with the shotgun. He beats the hell out of its head. Look at that. He just bashes its brains in. That's a manly man there. That's an alpha right there.
That's right.
And this time she's not so taken by it. She's actually traumatized by the fact that he just bashed in a giant rat's brains in front of her. But there it is. They're all drowned now. All the rats are gone. They load up the rat carcasses. They pile up the wet, muddy rats in a pile.
As you do.
The general's got a little, you know, sometimes he gets a little bit of a Skype face, a little Skype face.
Apparently.
Apparently, General, come back from the Ice Age. Somebody thaw him
Come
out.
back to us.
She throws the
Come
last
back.
of the stuff, the food of the.
Yep.
Oh, he's in and out. Here he comes.
See, this is why we used to call him General. How the heck did you become a general? But
General, how the heck
sorry.
did you do it?
Oh, never mind. He's back.
Go out and come back in. Now his audio's off because he got a phone call, I think. So
Yeah.
go back out and come back in. Sergeant, take over here from the timeline.
All right. Well, we got a bunch of foam there from the, and now we got a cow drinking the water because some of the stuff winds up one of the jars that the bad guy was trying to make off with. It spills and gets into the water, and now we got cow drinking the water.
There you go. The cows always go to the water.
And we got a herd of cows. And yes, you heard of cows? Well, yes, I have. And they are. And so they're drinking the poison water with the stuff.
Uh-oh. That's not a good idea.
Nope. See, there you go. We got the FOTG.
FOTG. It's right there.
The food of the gods right there. Got spilled into the water supply. Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
We hear you.
We see you, General.
All right.
We see and hear you.
We had a little tech gremlin there. Threw me out. Yes, there's still a couple of canisters of that food of the god stuff that evidently washed away from the house there. And the cows are drinking it, the water that it's in. And then we get the lovely shots of the cows' udders being sucked by the
milking machines.
These machines.
Mm-hmm. Quart of milk will do you good.
I think. And then, of course, we get the poster on the wall saying, "Hey, drink."
It'll do a body good. Milk
does a body good. That's right.
Milk does a body good. Yeah.
Always want some of that.
Uh-oh, did we lose Hazzard?
No, I'm here.
That's what we show. The last thing that we see is her drinking milk. She's going to
go.
grow up to be a giant girl someday. And that is the
gonna do wonders for them gods.
And I love that name, Belinda Belasky. I wonder where Belinda Belasky is. It's a wonderful name.
Yeah, whatever happened to Belinda?
She is. She's out there somewhere.
Oh,
General, you're getting the tech gremlin. The tech gremlins, they don't like when we do our big monster hunts. You know, they come in and they try to mess stuff up.
That's right.
That's what they do.
You're gonna need to do a training film on tech gremlins or something. Try to get rid of them.
They're certainly big monsters. We should
all
do an
the
entire show about it. Definitely. I don't know if there he goes. He's out again.
Oh dear. Oh well. Yeah.
Oh dear. Well, Sergeant, what are your reflections about this training film? What do you want our cadets to take away from this? How can we what did we learn? How can we be defending ourselves against these type of big monsters?
Well, what we've learned is you can blow up wasp nests and not burn a forest down. Giant rats will drown, but they love electricity. They'll flock to an electrified fence like giant chickens to a whatever giant chickens flock to. If you run out of shotgun shells, just beat the heck out of a rat with your shotgun. Now a real manly man would have just used his fists or carried a knife, but there you go.
For the giant rats?
Yeah.
You're gonna go at a dozen giant rats or 50 giant rats with one knife? I want firepower.
There's an old Klingon saying that a running man can slit 50 throats at a time. So if it's good enough for the Klingons, heck, it's good enough for us, by golly.
Well, I do know that Brian got eaten by rats and he had a shotgun. So
that's true.
There was just too many of them at one time.
That's right.
Marjo Gortner Morgan got lucky. He only got one rat.
That's right.
So.
And apparently his clothes is blood resistant, or he got attacked by giant rats.
Yeah, that coat was pretty clean.
Didn't see a scratch on him, by golly.
He was good at fending off that rat attack.
You're right. That's a manly man.
Rat
You can
attack.
get attacked by a
Love that.
giant rat and not have a scratch on you.
That giant rat attack.
The giant
Yeah.
rat attack.
Rat attack tack.
Maybe that's what they should have called the movie, the Giant Rat Attack.
We should do a sequel and call it that. That would be the sequel.
Yep.
There actually is a sequel, The Food of the Gods 2.
Oh, okay.
And there are giant kids in that, I think. Anyway. Thank you.
Honey, I blew up the kids with Food of the Gods milk.
Rat attack.
With rat attack. I think that's what they should call it. Like rat poison. They should call it a rat attack.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Well, Sergeant, thank you so much for coming in for this one.
Sure, yes, sir. It's my pleasure.
We'll
sir.
have you back again soon. You know, we've got lots
All
of
right.
big monsters.
I have better lighting, sir. Yes, sir.
That's right.
I'm glad to see you got rid of that twitch that you had.
Oh, yep. Well,
That's good.
I'm taking my medicine. I'm taking my meds. Yep.
You did real well today. I'm very proud of you.
Little Agent. Still got some of that Agent Orange left over. So you know.
A little bit of Mothra dust up your nose. It's
little bit of
okay. It happens to the
Mothra
best of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there for giant moths. He's there for giant gorillas. Yeah.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, thank you again, and you all keep an eye out for those big monsters, and stay tuned for No Icing with Druda. I think they're having girls' night tonight.
They're having girls' night. It's going to be a lot of girls, a plethora of girls, binders full of women. That's what Romney would say. So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening. Thank you, Sergeant. Bye, everybody.